Hey friends, it's me Stace. For today's video, I thought I would do a craft room tour as well as a sewing room tour. So a lot of you guys know in this house I have two rooms. So I have a craft room and a sewing room. They're both the same size and they're a mirror image of the other one, except for this one we did take out the carpeting and added new flooring and also took the closet out of this room. So the overall size of this room is about 9.5 by 12. I'm first going to give you a little pan around so you can see the entire room, then I'll go in more detail. So I was right there at the door. So we have this side, the one window, then we have this side, and this corner here is where the closet used to be, and then we have the cubes there. All right, so at the doorway, we have a filing cabinet. On top of that is my Epson ET 4800 printer that I converted over to sublimation. Top drawer is miscellaneous cardstock. The bottom drawer is all of my paper tray ink cardstock. Then we have an 8-foot piece of laminate here. On top of that, we have the HP OfficeJet Pro 6978 printer. That's the everyday household printer. A lamp, a little carousel to hold pens, my computer, and my Cricut Maker is down there. And this is an 8-foot piece of laminate that is sitting on these cubes that are from Better Homes and Gardens. They're just the cube organizers from Walmart. Now, when you buy them, you can buy accessories. So we did buy 2 of them. This is called an 8-shelf. I do like this because you're able to utilize the whole space versus just having one little thing there. All right, so here I have the inks from my printer, the inks from my other printer, and then photo paper, regular printer paper, sublimation paper, miscellaneous things down there, my Big Shot and all my dies down there. On this side, again, we have one of those H shelves. And here I just used, this is like an old silverware holder for this, like for the kitchen, and I just used it to hold miscellaneous office supplies. Then this is my label printer from my Etsy shop. It's a roller printer. Then down there, you can see hubby made me that contraption to hold my labels. On the very top on the wall, just a few decor items. My husband made this shelf. Originally, it was supposed to hold thread, but in this room, you can see it just holds a bunch of miscellaneous things. So I have like Mod Podge, my screen print ink, glitter, my paper tray ink refills, all that glitter there I purchased from Walmart. And then down here is a lot of that Diamond Press mixed media card making stuff is there. On this one, just a bunch of different pens holding different things. We have paint brushes, blending brushes, watercolor pencils. These are Cricut markers. Then down there we have my Cricut Joy laminator and my alcohol ink and all my alcohol ink things there. All right, the curtains are new. Because this room is on the front of the house, you can see it does get a lot of sun. So I bought these blackout curtains. They really do work. So I'm actually going to purchase another pair for the other room, but these work really good in this room. All right, so on this side, we have a 9.5-foot piece of laminate. Then we have 2 more of those cubes that are back to back because we have this unit sitting on top. My husband made this. Originally from my machines, from my Cricut Maker, my rather Scan and Cut, my Cameo, but I since have used it for my epoxy stuff. So on the very top, you can see my resin. The one I'm currently using right now is the Pudio. And what we did is I bought these honey jars from Amazon, and it's much easier. I pour from there into here. It's much easier work in this size container versus the big gallons. Then I have my 91% alcohol. I have baby powder when my hands are clean, I can't get the gloves on. The foam inserts, and then that's a vase we did a video on using alcohol ink. On this one, we have my little heat tool. This came with my single cup turner, and then just different measuring and mixing things. In here, just stirring sticks, that kind of thing. Then down this one, we have miscellaneous tools, my level, my poles, Inkjoy pens, my gloves, and then these little skewers are for when I do pens. And this is the cup turner my husband made. We just made it, or he made it out of just extra wood we had. I really do like it. It is a 4-cup. What he did also in the very top is he screwed these caps in. So when I'm done, I can just screw something in here on the very top like that, and I can use it for a drying rack. So I do like that a lot. And then this tray I purchased from Dollar General for like $2. When I work with my epoxy, I just let this here, let the epoxy dry, and I use a little scraper, and it comes right off. And it keeps my wood area here somewhat clean. All right, below that, we have the 4 cubes, and again, these are back to back. So in this tote, I have my molds. I do keep them separate in plastic baggies because we do have dogs with the dog hair. This is my 8x8 and 6x6 pattern paper, 12x12, and pattern paper there. That is a container. I use that when I'm using my molds. So the smaller one, I'll put my molds on, then I use the lid. I flip it upside down, and I use that for a lid. All right, so like I said, over here is the 9.5 foot piece. I'm gonna go over the top first. On the very top, I have my rhinestones, my fan, Bluetooth speaker, paper tray ink pads, miscellaneous ink pads here, my big bite, and then this is where I put my camera, and that little thing right there is just attached with a dowel rod and an O-ring and a piece of PVC pipe. All right, next shelf down we have the mini scoreboard, mini Misty, my Stampin' Scrub, and a piece of foam. I have lotion, baby oil, as well as hand sanitizer. All my Stampin' Up! Inks, and then just miscellaneous inks here. This little caddy holds my ATG, my scissors, a wink of Stella, different things like that. All right, now on the countertop, we have this little basket that holds just different glues and adhesives. Mason jars, again, I use them just to hold different pens and things I would, like Cricut tools that I use on an everyday basis. My X-Acto knife, tape, little coffee can I need to cover. That is my trash, wipies, and then my trimmers here. I have the Fiskars rotary trimmer, love that. And of course I have the Cricut one, the glass mat from Michaels. It is the We Are Memory Keepers brand. All right, so now we have a single or a 2 cube organizer here. This is just a drawer. The very top holds, you know, my foam squares, my little roller, my hockey puck thingy, double-sided tape. This holds twine, refills for my ATG, embroidery floss, and then the bottom one is my acrylic blocks. I have my scoring board right there, and then down here I have these three plastic containers, and I keep all my cardstock scraps in here. So I have one just for white and black. This is all my colored ones, and this is all of my paper. I do Project Life, and it's just much easier to grab through here versus going out where I normally keep my cardstock. All right, moving down, we have my heat press. This is a 16 by 20 Pro World swing away. I do love that. This is new. This was in this shed. It's like supposed to go over your bathroom. We have it hanging up here. You can see it just holds miscellaneous things. My tape, extra tape, my tape gun, Teflon sheets. What I had my husband do, he took the wood piece out of here and put a piece of PVC pipe in here so I could put my butcher paper on there. So I used the butcher paper with my heat press. Then he also added this piece of trim. I'm able to hold that, and then I can tear it off here. All right, then down on this side, we have another tote. This holds all of my stamps. Down here we have that black thing is the, I believe it's Diamond Press from HSM, the Mega Marker bundle. I have that. My Project Life pages. This little cart, I use this just for like when I'm doing mixed media, like in my art journal, the jelly plate. You can see I have that up here, different paints down there, and then regular paper there. My Project Life album sits there, and then on those cubes I have mugs for sublimation as well as embroidered toilet paper, and my mug press down there, and my trash can. Then we have these cubes. We bought these cubes from a yard sale. On the very top is my Project Life storage. I think I showed you this before. These little wooden pieces, they came from a cedar chest that we had that we were no longer using. And I thought they'd work perfect for Project Life, and they do. So I have all of my 3x4 cards here, and then 4x6 here. Then these totes, all I got from Amazon. This holds all of my finished cards, miscellaneous things like the Cricut, my Cricut Maker tools, a little container of glitter. This is just blanks. I also keep my iron in here, like if I need to iron ribbon, tile, that kind of thing. Submeatable mouse pads, and then down here is just Project Life stuff. That is all embossing powder. Then down here we have a bunch of things. I have my label maker down there. I have my Project Life We Are Memory Keepers Fuels tool and my label maker. Then down here we have washi tape, my mica powder, chalk, and my little blower thing for the alcohol ink. This is just an extra container that I have this little crimper in, different punches, expired candy. I do use this if I'm making like a treat box, I want to put candy in, I use this versus buying more. And I save these containers, you know, spice containers for like if I'm making glitter, or if I have extra glitter, I want to make my own color glitter, I put that there. Then down here, my Prismacolor pencils, my rhinestone kit. This again I use mainly for my gel plate. You can see I got like bubble wrap in there, different things I can make impressions and texture with. Then down there we have some plastic wrap, wax paper, and then those hold my foam pieces. These are the stencils, and then a color wheel, things like that. All right, on the door I have my apron that I use when I'm doing epoxy, or if I'm using the blower with the alcohol ink. Then all my vinyl is there. That's all heat transfer vinyl, and then miscellaneous vinyl here. All right, so that is this room. I think I covered everything. So I'm gonna pause on this room, take you guys to the other room. The rug we also bought off Amazon. It is really soft, but it is really hard to clean. It seems like everything gets stuck in there. So I usually just take it outside. I give it a good shake, and then we're good. The flooring from Home Depot, I'm not sure of the color. You can watch my scrapbook room tour that I did when we first finished the room. I might mention the color there, but I do love the flooring in here. All right, let me take you to the sewing room. All right, here we are in the sewing room. This is otherwise known as the green room. So you can see with the same size room, but the closet is in this room. That is the thing we took out of the other room. And not having the closet in there does open the space up. So this usable floor space is about 10 by 9.5, okay? So I'm gonna first give you a little pan around. So that's where I came from. So we have this wall unit on this side, the one window, and I apologize if it's really bright. Then we have this side, and I'm gonna start behind me by the door. All right, so we have this, I guess, 4-piece wall unit. We have a bookshelf, desk, hutch, and bookshelf. This holds my, I'll go to the very top, my 5x7 embroidery machine. This is a Brother SE 1900. It's embroidery as well as sewing. I use it just mainly for embroidery, and it's 5x7 hoop. My fabric is here. I have some extra batting and some fleece fabric there. On the very top, another thread rug my husband made. That's on my embroidery thread, and I apologize, it's kind of messy. I was working on a project. Tunisian crochet hooks, a little wine cozy I made, different things like that. TV over here. It's always nice to have it in your room. Then down here on this side, we have crochet stuff. Look at all my yarn, my patterns, my Bible study stuff, and different things I would use, like my hand sanitizer holders, buttons and snaps, beads, that kind of thing. All right, so on this piece, the hutch, in here we have thread. This is envelopes. This is markers and pencils, and this is business cards. On this shelf, I keep my 6x10 hoop as well as my 5x7 hoop there, because I do use both machines. All right, this is the Brother machine. This is the NQ 1600E. It's an embroidery only. It's 6x10. I love having a larger hoop. All right, so inside the desk, we have this little piece is a pull-out keyboard. Nothing is in there. On this side is another pull-out drawer. That's just miscellaneous sewing notions. Then it also has this little piece here you can write on. I usually bring that out when I'm using embroidery. Then down there is where I have all of my embroidery stabilizer. All right, let me swing around and go on this side. So this is, I believe, a 7.5 foot piece of laminate. Again, the same cube organizers from Walmart, the Better Homes and Garden brand. So in this one, I have different stabilizers like fusible webbing, things like that. Down here is just scraps of batting. This one has zippers in it. This is the extension table for my sewing machine. All of my presser feet are there, and all my sewing thread is here. And on this side, I have all of my vinyl, and then my felt down there. All right, on the top, I have an OttLite, my sewing machine. This is a Singer Quantum Stylus 9960. I do love that machine. My serger, this is a Brother 1634D serger. I do like it, but I can't stand serging. It's usually my husband's job. All right, on the wall, we have these 3 baskets. That one holds my foot and my plug for the serger. These are things that are on my shop now. This is just an empty one. Then the design wall. This is from a piece of, or a canvas piece that we had in the shed. We just covered it with 2 layers of batting, and it works really good to, hang fabric up there. I did make that recently. You can see it says Stace Crates. I did it with my Cricut Maker with the rotary blade. It cut really well. All right, then this, my husband made. This is my ironing / cutting table. So this used to have, it used to be covered all the way with like an iron, but we took that off, and I have my cutting mat up top. Then down there is my ironing board. It's just a piece of wood covered with fabric, and I bring that up here when I want to use that light. And then my husband hung this shelf. It just holds, you can see, my sewing or my rotary tools, lint brush, starch, things like that. So that's what that area looks like. And then again, these curtains also came from Amazon. They're actually really pretty. They're sheer, but they still give you privacy. All right, then we have the closet. You can see it's missing a door. That is because when we put the laminate in here, the closet door was closed, and we actually have the laminate too far over to where it hit the closet door. You're still able to open it, but it was denting it. So we took that off. My husband still has to come in here with a piece of trim just to cover all these holes, and he's actually going to build me shelving in here and remove this piece. But this is in here now because it works. On the very top, I have my single cup turner, and then I have all my motors for my 4-cup turner. Again, more things on my Etsy shop. I just added these, and not on my Etsy shop, my website. Coasters, little fishing bag, embroidery software, cards are on my website. These are just different things I made. The little doggy bags are on my website. This will be added, you know, different things like that. All right, then in this one are just bags. I use these for card kits and things like that. Then in this cabinet, just miscellaneous things. My books are in there, different other books are in there, extra screen print ink, that is the foot pedal, and the other piece to my 5x7 embroidery machine. If I want to use it for sewing, I would use those. Different things, beads on the side here. I have my steamer, a light box my husband made. That piece there, I usually use that for videos, but I haven't recently. Then over here, just different things. Okay, and on the very top, we have totes. It's all yarn, you know, chunky yarn, cotton yarn, acrylic yarn, fiberfill, or not, polyfill, and then this tool. All right, my friends, so there is both rooms. So again, I'll give you a little pan around. Again, this room is about 10 by 9.5, maybe, you know, close to 10 by 10. Not a very big room. But it's just me in here. Well, if I'm in here, usually both girls are in here, but it works, right? And I'll just give you another gander at this room. So you can see right across the hallway is this room. But you can see the difference. Same exact size room, but without having that closet in here, I was able to utilize a lot more space in this room. I don't miss the closet at all. All right, my friends, that is it. Any questions at all, please let me know. As always, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.